All right, so it's been very clear to a lot of artists and musicians that you can't necessarily get rich off of Spotify unless you have an overwhelming amount of streams. So, just for our understanding, why doesn't Spotify ever pay more royalties to artists?
Yeah, that's Spotify.
You got any theories? You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, Spotify hasn't been the absolute friendliest to indie artists since the start.
Mm.
Like the payouts, which is why we had that episode about NFTs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the payout structure has not been completely transparent
Mhm.
the entire time. It's still not
Yeah.
exactly. Like we have our streaming calculator on our website, and those are estimates.
Yeah.
Those are just aggregates of a bunch of different data points, and here's kind of the average of it that we think these are the averages,
Mm.
but they don't have like a set like
Yeah.
here's what you're gonna get per
Exactly.
stream. And so that's why like this will get slightly off topic, but people need to hear it. That's why people are fans of decentralized finance.
Mm.
So things like Bitcoin, that's why people are behind Bitcoin. Like if
Mm.
you're sitting there wondering why do people like cryptocurrencies, why are people into NFTs? It's decentralized.
Mm.
And Spotify, like an example, like Spotify is completely centralized,
Mhm.
and therefore the artists don't have as much say, have as much knowledge into it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that it needs to be completely in control of the people. Like I'm not
Yeah.
that type, but it should be more transparent,
Yes.
right? Um, that's the biggest thing people have against Spotify, and that's why companies like Audius
Mm.
have a chance if they do the right marketing
Mhm.
to kind of cut them off from under their legs and take over
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
position. Because what Audius is saying is that they have a completely transparent structure
Mhm.
where they show you how much of the currency is going to be given towards the investors, how
Mhm.
much of the currency is given towards artists on the platform, how
Mhm.
much of it's given to the community.
Mhm.
So they tell you how much of the currency is going to be made.
Mhm.
So they'll say like, here's how much is going to be in circulation. Here's how much of this currency is going to be in circulation.
Mhm.
Whereas a fiat currency is you can just print,
Yeah.
right? So that's why you see hyperinflation in other countries and other continents.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully it doesn't come to the US.
Yeah.
But I mean, we printed, what was it, like 20% of all the currency that's ever been printed last year.
Yeah.
And when you go and like ask them like why they're coming up with this figure, like why are you guys doing this? They're not just giving you some completely transparent answer.
Right.
It's just kind of like, oh, here's our here's why we did this and all
Yeah.
this stuff, but nobody buys it.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
and that's why people are moving their money from fiat currencies
Mhm.
to cryptocurrencies.
Mhm.
So I know that got off topic a little
No,
bit.
that was so
but-
good. That was good, man.
But yeah, that's why
Yeah.
Spotify, like somebody can take out Spotify.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like somebody took out Blockbuster, somebody
right.
took out Kodak.
Yeah.
Somebody can take out Spotify.
Yeah.
Um, Now, our business structure isn't married to any of the platforms. We're for what's best for the artist.
Mhm.
It's going to take a lot for a company like Audius, who we don't have any stake in Audius, guys.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a lot for them to take over Spotify. Spotify's not going to go away willingly.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my initial thoughts on it. And I honestly I forget the initial question at this point because I went off on my own tangent.
No, I'm glad we drifted, man. That was I learned a lot just now.
But you asked, what was it about Spotify?
No, why doesn't Spotify ever pay more royalties to artists?
Pay more royalties specifically.
Yeah.
Well, they pay more to artists. They don't need to.
Hmm.
Why would they? Artists are still uploading their stuff to Spotify.
True.
So until artists say
Stop.
that we're gonna go to Audius or go to SoundCloud, start to do fan powered royalties. So until artists say, people have more power than they think
100%.
that they have. I
100%.
probably sound like a libertarian because I probably align more with libertarian thought than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get to decide if we're not going to put our music on there anymore.
Yes.
The consumer gets to decide that Audius says they're going to give me some equity in this company
Mhm.
if I make great playlists, which they did.
Mm-hmm.
and we have an article of it on our website, and you guys can go read that article. We'll link it in the description. So people who listen to Spotify or YouTube or whatever can decide today. You can just decide that you're going to go to Audius.
Yes.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
You can just do it.
Yeah.
Nobody's holding you to Spotify. Nobody's making you pay $15 a month for Netflix. Nobody's making you pay for Amazon. You get to decide it.
Yeah.
Now, if the company has a better system, then it makes sense that you pay it. Right now, Spotify doesn't really have. I mean, they certainly have a better system than Apple Music, I would say. If there's any Apple Music fans out there, sorry, Spotify just has a better system to me than Apple Music does. Even though we offer both services, that's why we say I'd put maybe 10% of your marketing budget towards Apple Music and 20 or 25 right now towards Spotify.
Okay.
Because it just has a better system.
Right.
If Audius comes and they start to make some gains, then our percentages can switch with whatever platform is most beneficial to artists. That's our goal, helping the artists. So that's why I'm even telling people about Audius right now. Like I said, we have no affiliation with them. I just think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Which is why we'd be promoting it. And if it got off and got some steam behind it within the next couple of years, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah,
I think it's a good
100%.
idea.
I'll be right behind you in supporting it. I think people are limited due to a lack of knowledge a lot of times. And I think, that's why I'm thankful for platforms like this where we can expose like an audience. Or I haven't really heard anybody else really talking about it this time, which is why I hope they get their marketing right and how they like really push it out, because I think that could for sure be a game changer.
Yeah, I think maybe a bit of what happened, just like with the cryptocurrency bust in 2017. Like do you remember when it went up in 2017? All right, then it went down after that time, and in the in between, enough people still held on to it, and they said, "Wait, this is a good idea. Like we shouldn't let this go."
Yeah.
So they kept talking about it, and then it started to come back whenever like people started to recognize, like, why are they printing $2 trillion?
Yeah.
And then they started to push this out to more people. And they're like, oh, yeah, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
So let me put my money in. Like, this NFTs are a good idea.
Yeah.
It is a bubble.
Yeah.
Because people were just throwing money at it. Because
Right.
it was new and it was shiny. But it is a good idea. Like, people do need to start to trend towards that.
Yeah.
So it might have a bit of a dip. Like, it might be a little period of, I don't know, might be a year, might be 2 years. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It might just be a month. It might come back. I don't know. But does the technology have merit? Yes, it absolutely has merit. So Spotify doesn't have to pay out more because people aren't really making too much noise about it. Artists will still upload there. They'll still, try to promote there. And that's fine for now. But also, I'd start looking at companies like Audius. I don't know of any others out there that have their exact system, and Audius still does have some work to do in terms of like the building that technology into their platform and their token system and all that. But it has a chance.
Yeah.
And I think even sending a portion of your fans there is worth it.
Yeah. That's big. Makes sense.